This is Margaret Windsor. This is my father, the real King Edward VIII, not the impostor that married um, Wallace Simpson, and they became the Duke and Duchess of Windsor, pretending to be my father. This is Elizabeth, illegal monarch. Her father's the one, George VI, the illegal himself, that helped kidnap me. So this is an illegal lineage. Illegal takeout of a beautiful man with lies told on him. I'd like to clear his name. This is the impostor that married Wallace Simpson, pretending to be my father. This is my father's brother, George VI. Roosevelt's wife, mother, Elizabeth's mother, and George VI's wife, and President Roosevelt. This is JFK, about JFK. His father was ambassador to Great Britain, 36 to 45, when he was kicked out. He helped with my kidnapping. My uncle, who became George VI, my brother's brother, stole the crown from him and kidnapped his daughter, me. This is Caroline Kennedy. Her father's John Kennedy, Ambassador Joseph Kennedy that helped kidnap me was her grandfather. Now then, here you've got William, which is illegal. He's illegal, and he dared name his son George after this man, his grandfather, great-grandfather, that helped kidnap me and take out the real king. So, I don't know if I'll get to, something's wrong with my video. It's not working. I'm going to try to do this in real quick. I was kidnapped in 42. I was born in 39 when they had this meeting, by the way. How timely. I was brought to the United States, Moulton, Alabama, and given the name of a twin. Both twins were dead. Given the name of Peggy Dempsey, and I married a Childers. I lived in a pigsty with people that Lina Dempsey killed the twins. She was diagnosed a psychopath, so anyone can get a gist of how I grew up. I didn't know about my kidnapping until 1983. So I'm going to go back, though, to my dad. My dad was married, legally wed, to American Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, sister to Georgia O'Keefe. My mother was Catholic and Irish American, and some of the Windsor family was not happy about that. So a lot was going on. The war was brewing. My father, really, everything about him has been a lie. But then you have to do that to remove him from office, and that's exactly what it is. An office. It's not a celebrity gig. Anyway, he stepped back, and there was an interim government formed. My uncle was made the head of it, George VI. It was always supposed to and intended to come back to my father. He was the legal monarch. He had an addendum to the forced abdication that said if an heir should be born, it would not disinherit the heir. I was born in 39 and born Queen Victoria II. There were treaties that were signed by my uncle. There was a 99-year seal put on my father's removal from office, which shut up my birth, took away my birthright. It's like secret agent man. I don't have a name. At least it's not my real name. So they pretty much had it all wrapped up with that. The George VI really was working in the best interest of the United States. So really, the excuse me, United States installed their own monarch and brought me over here. And what a joke! They've not only installed their own monarch, they kidnapped the real one. So the treaties that were signed thereafter have all been illegal. Um, George joining forces with the United States, with Roosevelt and the Kennedys, um, made a deal to allow American military bases all over everything British. It was called British colonies back then, but you have to make the word colony sound bad. So really, it was a stepping stone for the United States to conquer the world, really positioning themselves there and using the British to fight their wars. And I don't think for 1 minute, if someone stopped to think that the British like fighting and dying for the United States and celebrating the 4th of July, I don't. Um, I mean, the United States stole this from us in the beginning. So the British are hostage just as I am. And by the way, the United States said there wasn't an Area 51 here, and we all know there is. There's also an Area 51 in Australia. Now then, the United States has gone over to Syria. Um, and you have to go as the good guy. Granted, all the hoolah well, that's a cute little word for the crimes committed against the countries over there. The United States goes in and lets Great Britain take the blame, claiming they're friends, allies. Um, so anyway, they've gone into Syria. My point right at the moment, too, is my life has been sheer hell every minute. It's filled with psychological warfare. So has it been used on my kids. Every kind of crime you can commit has been done against us. And the chemical abuse has never stopped till today. There's nowhere to go with it. I want to say this real quick, too. Elizabeth was hired by Virginia, and that's where I've lived up here in Virginia since '86. She was hired in '07 when and there is something to do with this, when the shootings that happened at Virginia Tech. It's about 60 miles from Roanoke, where I am. And they paid her a hefty sum just to appear over here in Virginia. Do you think that she stopped to see me or even say hi? They don't talk about me. I'm shoved in a corner. You don't mention my name. Now, I'd like to have my name back and clear my father's name, and I'd like for Elizabeth and company, and half of these people are dead. They should be held accountable as war criminals, because that's exactly who they are. Now, I want to say real quick, before I run out of time, everyone's up in D.C. on the civil rights with Martin Luther King to celebrate that. I've had no civil rights, period. I want to say this, too. Andrew Young was with Martin Luther King when he was killed in Memphis. My point is that Andrew Young became ambassador to the UN under Carter. He funneled private people, went into all kinds of industry into South Africa, Rhodesia. It's even had a name changed. So basically, the United States went in and they took out the British government, and that's what it was, and installed Nelson Mandela. When Martin Luther King, Mrs. King, Andrew Young knew about my real identity and what was happening to me, and they covered it up. They joined forces, calling it civil rights, with the Kennedys, and went against the British. And I'm here, and if everybody saw, the world was made to see what happened to me here, and the fact that I was kidnapped,